Most of you that are here, if they ever told you that your path was going to cross a man like me, you would have said it's a very big lie. In fact, the day you heard me speak, something in you said, this is a man, this is a trainer. With him, we will be able to win. Something that you just told you, with him, we will be able to win. But something in you now tells you, but I am not prepared. Because you think God operates on your timeline. The world doesn't move based on your timeline. Time is constant. Time is a constant thing. You are the one that is fluid. You are the one that gets to move. All those things that I've said, I hope they are good enough to reinvent your life, for you to be the savior of a generation, for you to be the light in people's dark. We should stop counting on God, because God is also counting on you, on us. So the first one is what? The second one is what? Have I got into the third one? What was the third one? Hear the voice of God. Before the voice of God comes, you must have heard the voice of men calling out with their tears. The voice of God doesn't come before. The voice of God is not what opens your ears to the troubles. It is the cry of men that opens the voice of God for a man who has heard. Most of you, you don't care. God checks everything he has put in your care, and he judges you with it. How have I treated you? How have I treated you? How have I treated you? How have you treated me? Have you been able to actually manage me? Have I been able to manage you? Have I been intentional about you? Have I been non-intentional about you? So all of a sudden you fail your own management test. I pass my management test. I move up. You stay down. Then later you tell someone I have his number. His secretary that will pick you. That's if that number is still going through. Number 4, be submissive to go through an unexpected trainer and the training. Be submissive enough to go through an unexpected trainer and the training. Look, whenever you hear the cry of a people, you did not plan to hear the cry of those people. That's the truth. Most of the times we barge into it because you get to discover it. When you were born, your mother wasn't telling you, well, there are people that are poor, all these things. So you barge into it as you come of age. As you come of age, you barge into it. The same way you barge into the cries is the same way sometimes you barge into the training. You just discover. And there's always an unexpected trainer. Someone you never expected. You may have been looking for a way. Moses may have been like, maybe if I talk to other Egyptians, they would hear me. Maybe they would tell me how to go about this. But no, he had to come out from the place he was used to. Most of you that are here, if they ever told you that your path was going to cross a man like me, you would have said it's a very big lie. In fact, the day you heard me speak, something in you said, this is a man. This is a trainer. With him, we will be able to win. Something that you just told you, with him, we will be able to win. But something in you now tells you, but I am not prepared. Because you think God operates on your timeline. The world doesn't move based on your timeline. Time is constant. Time is a constant thing. You are the one that is fluid. You are the one that gets to move. If God tells you it's a time to eat, and it's still late at night, please get up and eat. Because you may not have the 5 to 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. An unexpected trainer. Did you hear? I didn't say training, I said trainer. Whenever God, after hearing the voice of God, during that period or just before that period, because your voice can come just before or after, you must have gone through a particular phase. You must have gone through a trainer. A trainer, a specific kind of trainer, someone that is involved in emotional management. What we call people management. Not a business. It could be a job you went on, but you were not under the training of the job. You discovered that the man was intentional about you. When you get to yell at a customer, he calls you aside and say, that's not the way it's done. He doesn't fire you. He tells you, see, when a customer is shouting, customers are always right, okay? Just answer them in a nice way. If they get to, let's say, get to throw your goods on the floor, just get them some juice. Tell them, sit down, be angry. Get them juice. You will see they will be calm. Because if they cause a scene, they may get angry. Other people will also support them. And you've lost everybody connected to him. What if he has 5 other people that were using the same bank? Do you understand? It starts to explain these things to you. You don't want to come to church. A man actually gets to contact you and tell you, don't worry. We've gone through this phase before. Just push yourself. It's okay. A man doesn't get to see you. He calls you over the phone. How are you? What's happening with you? Every time he's asking about you, he's not asking about the job you're supposed to do. He's asking about you. He's not calling you to say, this job is not done. This is not, because other people are doing the job. So why is he bothered about calling you every time, asking about you all the time? See, why is it whenever you hear the voice of God, you need what we call people management? Is that when you actually start moving, when God actually calls you to a team, whether it's a company or anything you're doing in your life, you're actually not dealing with the resources, you're dealing with human resource. In your life, never you think you're dealing with goods, rather you are dealing on services. You must think about your services before the goods itself. What am I talking about? Services. I'm talking about how you make people feel. Because you're dealing with emotional beings. You're not dealing with dead people. Neither are you dealing with angels. God will not train you by training you in the realm of the spirit again. He will train you by training you with men. This is where they tell you, okay, get into this department. Okay, learn how to keep the records in this company. Also from this department, I want you to also check the customer service. Do you know how to do customer service? They are training you on how to treat people. That is when you know you're being prepared. Or that is when you know you're going through a trainer. God must train you on what? Emotional, or what I call people management. That's why anytime God wants to use a man, first of all, he makes you a shepherd. If you don't go through a shepherd training as a soldier, 2 things you must be for God to use you. You must have a soldier mentality and a shepherd administration. A soldier mentality and a shepherd administration. Look at Jacob. What happened to Jacob? Jacob met who? Laban. Who was Laban? Laban was keeping what? Animals. Laban was doing what? Keeping who? Animals. He was dealing with people, emotional things. How to tend. How to tend. What about Joseph? Where did his brothers actually get to kill him? All of them were what? Were shepherds. They were shepherds. And when Joseph actually became, he was supposed to become, first of all, he was working with who? Someone that was in charge of people, a governor, Potiphar. What about David? David was a shepherd. When it was time for his training for the throne, who actually did he meet? He met Saul. People management, the one that was overseeing people. It's not resources. You're a fool if you go to a man that knows how to manage money instead of a man that knows how to manage people. You're a fool. So you know your money boss, your mentor, because you think that's what life is all about. God can use you. He can use you, but not in a top position. You would always be secondary or third to a man who deals with people. A manager manages resources. A leader brings out the best from people, not the best from resources. That's the truth. Look at Joseph. Look at all of them. Look at Moses. Was a soldier. He felt he could fight as a soldier. What did God do to him? God sent him. And who did he meet? The Bible said in the book of Exodus chapter 3 verse 1. Exodus 3 verse 1. Let's see who Moses, because we're on Moses' life. Exodus 3 verse 1. He said, now Moses kept the flocks of who? Jethro, a shepherd. But this guy was already a leader, a military leader. Why does he need the shepherd mentality? You must know how to tend to people. You must know how to tend to them. You must know how to tend to people. This is how you reinvent yourself. Hear the voice of the Lord. Hear it. After that, submit. Submit to the trainer and the training. Submit to the trainer. Submit to a training. You will need it in your life. Number 5. Be sincere about certain realities. Be sincere about certain realities. Truth in brackets. Be sincere about certain realities. You know, a lot of people actually don't understand that during the training, there's a certain reality people don't know, that your training process is to make you fail. The goal of your training is for you to fail in the training and succeed in life. That's one truth. A lot of you, when you fail in your trial, you think that is a proof of you. Succeeding. If you're succeeding in your trainings, there must be a time you have to fail. The failure you are failing in your trial. This is the reason why. God is trying to check your limits. God is trying to check your limit. What are the things should I avoid this guy from going through? Because I've seen that it can bring him down. Or what are the things should I avoid? Or what are the things should I improve on? Failure is 100% part of your training phase. Always remember this. Always. Never you in your trials expect that you should win all the time. In fact, that is where there are tears. You're like, I'm putting in all the job, but it looks like I'm unproductive. That was not the time to be productive. If you are productive, it's useless. Don't plant a tree that is going to be cut down with all the energy in you. Be sincere about one reality. That failure is a what? It's part of the process. It's a must. If you're succeeding in your training all through, have a bitter story of something. Maybe your business, maybe leadership, maybe your family, your health. Sorry to say, it's either the failure is coming or you are not fit. It's either the failure is coming. I would not take a man to a war that has not been tried and his weaknesses are not known, for me to know what aspect of the field I should actually put him at and where I should not place him. What was the number 5? Be sincere about what? Now, be sincere about the realities. You must know that in your failure must be caused by people that are close to you. Your failure must be caused by people that are what? Close to you. Your fight, the fight against you must be people that are connected to you. What do I call this? Friendly fire. I call it what? Friendly fire. These ones are the ones that want to bring you down, but they will not take your life. Because in the real war, you will be faced with enemies that don't even care about your life. So first of all, God must test you with the ones that will not take you out of the picture completely. So always look around you and recognize the ones that are for your trials. When they are for your trials, remember not to judge them, but also remember to win that fight. If you don't win that fight against them, you are not prepared. If you cannot win against rubber bullets, can you win against original bullets? No. Your mother is stopping you from coming to Spirit Assembly. So what about if it's the governor that says no Christianity again? That means you would never come. If you could not stand and tell your mother, I found a place. I found a place. How will you tell your oppressor? So it's just a normal thing you should always remember. It's a normal thing you should remember. If you cannot face you get into people around you mocking you about money you don't have, how will you feel when maybe you were having 500 billion and you fell to a millionaire from 500 billion? That means you would die young. There are people that were not prepared for failure. When they fail, they always have what I call stroke. That is always the end of their life. Your failure must not be the end of your life. That's why God prepares you for it beforehand. That's why He does. That's why in the training, we push your limits. Push you above your limits. We want to see, where is that time? There are times you feel, I can't go on anymore. They push you again. And the more you are pushed, and the more you follow through, no matter how tired, God is also increasing the quality of battle you fight. So if you give up when small load is put on you, they try the small load again, you give up. They try the small load, they just say, this one is just for this level. It's not for the international level. Maybe I called you to speak. You're speaking in broken English. After I teach you, you can't speak like me. When you come out, praise the Lord. We just know that at the international level, let mic never come to you. This is not that church that you know. You can't be doing this here. Instead, we will give someone the mic, they will hear a testimony and say, Pastor, sir, we actually heard today that this guy was actually having a spinal cord issue. And when he was having a spinal cord, they were praying and the Holy Ghost, something just happened right now. And they say, praise the Lord. Madam, are you healed? They won't give out much. You'll be like, yes. Nobody will not say, give Jesus a big hand. You're out of the picture. Or you play the trumpet, you play the keyboard, you're at one level of your life. Or you sing in the choir, you're at one level in your life, or you're an usher, you are not an usher par excellence. We just know the level where you should be. We should know that when we're going to the governor's office, don't carry this guy. Don't carry him. Or you're always late to service. The day I want to go for an important meeting, I shouldn't call you. I shouldn't call you. Check your life. Be pushed above your limits. Fight against the norm. This is the way I know how to do it. This is the way I. That thing irritates me. You know it. You know it. I'm always very hard on everyone that is close to me. You. I'll be like, so? That is the way. So? Because I can't take it from you. The next one, be courageous. Be courageous. Be courageous. Number one, under be courageous. Be ready to get rejected by those you wish to accept you the most. And be ready to accept those who you least wanted. Be courageous enough to accept rejection from those who wish to accept you the most. And be ready to accept those who you wished for the least. Most of the times your walk defines who you call family. It defines your association. It's a painful thing. It's a painful thing. Open your Bible to the book of Hebrews chapter 20. Hebrews chapter 11 from 25 to 27. Hebrews chapter 11, 25 to 27. Hebrews 11, 25 to 27. It said when Moses has come at age, when he came of age, he refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. Hebrews 11, 25. They said when Moses had come of age, he refused to be called what? The son of Pharaoh's daughter. That was his family. But he couldn't take it anymore. He loved them, but he had to actually get a new family. That was not just the only people he walked away from. He walked away from his sister Miriam for more than 40 years. So I wish your family to be here with you. Some of you, it may take 10 years, 15 years, some 3 years, some 20, 30 years. But first of all, the first step may be you walking away from them first. See finish. See finish. They want to see your conviction. They want to see it. They want to prove it that you really know what you're doing. He didn't just lose the palace. This was a man. He actually walked away from Miriam. He walked away from his mother. He walked away from everybody. He walked away from his best friend who was his cousin Aaron. Sometimes the people you leave, it is because you're being prepared to be their salvation and Messiah. That is the truth. Don't take them with you. Don't hover around them. The time to actually salvage them is coming. Moses walked away. I remember that's where the pain comes. You look around you, the ones that you called family, they are not there. But be courageous enough to accept it that way. Every time I think of myself, I think about the fact that I have a baby daughter. They had 6 years. I think the baby mama. I love the baby mama so much. She loves me so much too. But she can never. She wants me to be a preacher. Yes, she loves the fact that I'm excellent. She loves the fact that I'm intelligent. But she says, I'm never going to be a pastor's wife. So you're just going to be the pastor wife, just be the wife. And I said, that's the way it is. Then we should know that you're not for me in my head. And every day, I just think about it. It hurts me so bad. It hurts me so bad. But I can never sacrifice the work of God for this. Because I remember the times she was sick, like she was dying and her friends were ill. And I came to them and I laid hands, they got their healing. The times the baby actually had those series of sickness that doctors could not solve. The baby could not move at all. The baby was dying. It was this same call of God and power of God that saved the baby. So if we didn't walk this walk, maybe there would be no preacher Isaiah that is excellent for someone to even love. There would be no baby for me to say I'm fighting over a baby. Maybe she would have been dead. Some of you have lost a lot of things in your life before you accepted Christ to actually serve him. Because maybe if you were in God, you would have been able to salvage all those things. So what about if I didn't know God? And when I got to the baby, and I got to the baby, and I went with my Bible, I said, the doctors has done this. I'm coming now. I'm coming not as a father, but I'm coming as a pastor. I'm not coming as the father. When I looked at the baby, and the baby opened her eyes and got up and said, Daddy, jumped down from the bed and ran to meet me. And they were like, for real, this guy is indeed serving God. Because for people connected to you that knew you in the past before you knew God, to accept you serving God, you know they must have seen the power of God, undiluted power of God in your life. But yet still, even if they love it so much, as long as you're not walking this walk with me, and as long as you will not walk it in such a way where it's not like it's forced upon you, then I must let you what? Go. That's my baby. I'm not saying a friend. Be courageous enough. Be courageous enough. Now I got so many babies. I got Delilah, I got Charles, I got Derek, Peter. I got lots and lots of babies. God gave me babies. In fact, I even have grown-up children now. Grown-up children now. People that call me daddy and I'm like, well, I'm too young. And when the guys actually call me my father, it's okay. When they call me daddy, it's okay. But you know, when the girls actually call me daddy, I was like, they may just think it is daddy. Be courageous enough. So tell yourself, be courageous. Tell someone close to you, be courageous. Be courageous. Accept your new family. Accept your new family. They were prepared before you were even born for you. They were. Number 2, refuse to see the failure you failed as you beforehand. Refuse to see the failure you failed as you beforehand. Your brother in the natural may not be your brother on your walk of purpose. Your sister on your family may not be your sister in the walk of purpose. And if you're lucky enough to have one of them in the same line with you, I appreciate it. That's why I love to bring my family into what I'm doing, because it will be a lonely walk. I lost the first family of mine, which is my immediate family. Losing the other ones that are very connected to me, my brothers, will be the most delicate thing I may not be able to bear. Number 3, be smart never to do the same things you did when you failed in your trial. Be smart never to do the same thing you did when you failed in your trial. There are people, they made a mistake in the trial, then it's time for the war. They take that same weapon, take those same people, and get into those same situations and expect a different result. That is pure madness. You cannot in your life decide that you will keep putting 1 plus 1 and 1 plus 1 will give you 34. You wielded your sword like this, you were wielding your sword like this, and you got killed in the training, and you did it again. There was someone who caused your downfall, you did it again with that person. There was someone that was by you when you failed, and you know this person was in a certain manner, you still go back there. I'm very scared of people that move in circles. And there's always a temptation of circles. The same incidents will happen in your life, but sometimes it will be with the same people or different results. Whenever I see a circle in my life, I force that circle out. If I get to a place, I wear the same clothes, I see the same person, driver that drove me, all this kind of thing and all that. When I'm coming back, I will change routes from the last time I remember that I did that same thing and it ended in the wrong way. Some of you, somebody, the day you got angry, you met with somebody. And when you met with the person, you give the person your trust. After giving the person your trust, you got into a relationship. The relationship was stupid and you got heartbroken. When you now get heartbroken again, in the same tears, you will meet another person that will understand your tears. The same circle, you're a fool. You're a fool. You stay. When you had troubles in your life, you called 2 people. One answered the phone, the other one did not answer the phone. And that situation happened again. You called 2 people. This same person answered the phone. This one did not answer the phone. Nothing told you to use your head. Then one day, this person will come and tell you, oh boy, there's something we need to do. There's nothing we need to do. If you accept, you're a fool. We like repeating same circles, expecting that the next person has done what? Changed. Yeah. is the way to reinvent yourself. Look around you. Cast people out. Even God cast out his most favorite angel, Lucifer. And till the day God will be God, he still feels the pain in his chest. He still feels the pain in his chest, but it's for the greater good. The next one, the last one, this is 11:55. The last one, balance. The beginning of balance in your life. You invent your life with these things I've said. The last one, recognize your Joab and your Jonathan. Recognize your Joab and your Jonathan. Recognize your friend. Recognize your what? Friend. In your walk with God, God will always place someone for you. During your time of trial and during the time for your walk, they are never the same. They're never the same. Recognize your who? Your Joab. And recognize your who? Jonathan. The Bible actually says there's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. There's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. And the Bible actually tells us that Joab was very loyal to David. He was his friend. I think Joab was the head of his army, right? He was his good friend. So all of them were very loyal to their friend, right? In fact, the original friend did not even live too long. But the fake friend lasted too long. Fake people, they always survive. They never die. They change forms. They change forms. Recognize your Joab and your Jonathan. Your Joab, this is the difference. Your Joab is loyal to you and friendly to you. But your Joab is cunning with an outsider. Your Joab is loyal to you, but cunning with your neighbor. Your Joab will protect you, but undo somebody you don't want to undo. These are the signs of Joabs in your life. Your Joab will fight for you, kill for you, and die for you. But your Joab will also kill somebody that is in competition with him for that position you put him. A Joab is only your friend because he's fighting for his position and for association with you. And that is proven with the fact that he is not the same person that he is with you, with other people. So whenever you are there saying, I can fix her, I can fix him, you are part of the problem. Brother Jonathan, the seat will be for him. Because Jonathan was the son of Saul to overtake and take that seat. But he told David, the hand of the Lord is upon you. And I swear my life that I will see you actually climb that throne. Jonathans, they give up their dreams and hand it over to you. You never see them ever claim an individual dream. Whether you put them in a position or not, they will always be there for you. They never have another dream. Their dream is their loyalty to you and humanity. The Bible said Jonathan got into a fight where the Israelites were scared. Jonathan did what? He tested honey and went with his servant and slew the army. He didn't wait for David. He didn't do it because of David. He did it because it was the right thing to what to do. So these ones are just straightforward. The same way they are with you. If you are also their friend, this other friend will be with you like that. But these ones, they are straight with you, loyal to you. When with the other person, they undo that person. Please, these people may not hurt you, but for the sake of humanity, why do you empower them? Why do you do it? David said something to Solomon. He said, you see, my most loyal servant, Joab, as I die, because he's my servant and he's my friend and he was loyal, I could not shed his blood. But the moment I actually die, make sure you slay him. Pay him back for what he has done. Sorry to say, there are people that if they did not drop away from me, when I got bigger, I was definitely going to slay them. You must slay the Joabs in your life. They are loyal to you based on what you are, who you are. But just mirror them with what they are to other people. Your Joab is the one that if way, they will talk evil about you. Your Jonathan is the one that if you cast them away, they will keep praying for you because they lived for your success, not for your love. There's a difference between a Jonathan and a Joab. And most of you surround yourself with Joabs. But they were kind to me. They love me. You're a criminal. You are empowering a snake. That the snake listens to you when you're enchanted does not mean the snake is safe with other people. Put it in a cage. Some of you hover around snakes as friends because you are a snake enchanter. Thank you. Someone just carry a snake and bring to the church, keeps here. The one is because he enchanted the snake is obedient. One time he mistakenly rushes to the restroom. Then the snake, nobody to enchant it. Then it's now you, it's not me. That's the way they are. There's always a friend you will need on your walk. Never go on a lonely walk. And this friend is not defined by love. This friend is always defined by purpose. Any friend that is not in line with your purpose, totally, be planning to slay that friend at the right time. But if you are too good, that you cannot shed your own blood like David and me, pray for an outsider to slay them. And when they're being slayed, turn your back. Never you out of pity get into the fight. Because if they are not slayed, do you know that Joab actually killed a man, Saul's chief commander, that became loyal to David? Anybody that wants to get connected with you at the top, they cut the person down to size. And you think that's loyalty. Don't worry. You are the master. You will answer for the blood by which your bodyguards actually did, because they did it in your name. These are the 7 dates to reinvent your life. The 7 days, number 1, please. Refuse the normal. Number 2. Say? Hear the cry of the people and do what? Number 3. Hear the voice of God. Number 4. Be submissive. Be submissive to an unexpected trainer. And the training. Let me add one more thing, explain this whole thing. Please, when the time for the real challenge comes, let me tell you the truth. You will not be done with your training. When you are called upon, you would not be prepared actually. Is what you've been able to gather is what you will use. Number 6. Is that? That's number 5. Number 6. Number 7. The default one, be sensitive. The default one, the foundation, be sensitive when the time for your call comes. Don't say, I'm not done learning. It will not wait for you. Moses was still taking care of the shepherd when the Lord's voice came to say it's time. I don't know when you'll be called to travel out of the country to do something for the Lord. Why don't you train yourself now? I don't know when you'll be called to lay hands on the one that is lame. Why don't you train yourself now? I don't know when maybe you're barging on an invite for you to speak to 1,000 people. Why don't you learn how to speak now? Why don't you learn it now? All these things that I've said, I hope they are good enough to reinvent your life, for you to be the savior of a generation, for you to be the light in people's deck, for you to be this laughter, the smile in their tears and their pain, for you to be the passion in their pain, for you to be the healing in their sickness, for you to be their poverty, for you to be the blessing in their curses, for you to be the healer in their sickness. I just hope these things are enough to make you realize that we should stop counting on God, because God is also counting on who? On us. He's waiting for you. He's waiting for you. He's waiting for you. He's waiting for you. I pray that these words leave a lasting mark in your life, in the name of Jesus.